Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Caravan of Garbage, where we already wrapped up the Jason Bourne trilogy.
And yet, there's still 2 movies to go.
Correct. This one, Mason, first of all, leave a like. This one, Mason, where do we find Jason Bourne?
He's in some folders.
Okay.
He's in some brochures for spying.
He's
interested in getting into spying? Well, you got to look out for this guy. He will hit you with something. Let me tell you that. If you're looking for a laid-back career in espionage and the secret services,
I'm interested.
consider Jason Bourne. He's right next to you.
What?
Bang! And he hits you with a magazine or something.
Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not really in this, is he?
No.
I mean, at all, except for pictures you occasionally see. But it is adjacent Bourne.
Correct.
In the sense that it happens at the same time as the second 2 movies.
It's an in-between-quel.
Betweenquel.
But it's also in-between-quel a movie that was also an in-between-quel.
Correct.
Wow, layers upon layers, like the espionage industry.
That's right.
And business.
That's right.
And just a group of friends.
Yeah.
Doing stuff.
Hanging
together.
out.
Hanging out.
Out.
Jason Bourne's right behind you.
What?
Bang!
I don't like him.
It was a tube of toothpaste in the neck. You copped it, mate.
I don't like that, Mason. So this movie, it's set in 2004, despite coming out in 2012.
Wow.
And it was kind of the movie they were forced to make because Matt Damon wasn't keen on returning. There was a point where he might have come back. Originally.
But he doesn't like Tony Gilroy.
No.
As we established in previous videos.
Which is a mistake.
They had a falling out because he makes the only good Star Wars. He makes the only good and last good Star Wars.
Correct. So apparently Matt Damon didn't want to do this because Paul Greengrass wasn't going to come back as director.
What was he doing instead? Should we look that up?
I think they ended up doing Green Zone or something like that.
Greengrass doing Green Zone?
Is that the one?
Maybe. Do you think maybe he instead invented Greenzo, the character from 30 Rock?
I don't think he invented that, Mason. He was doing Captain Phillips, potentially.
Okay. United 93?
Oh.
No, that was 2006. Never mind.
Yeah, Green Zone 2010.
Okay.
Which is also a Matt Damon espionage-esque movie.
Oh, and in 2025, he's doing The Lost Bus.
Wow.
Right?
There it is.
It was right next to you. Bang! You've been hit with a bus.
So yeah, that's when Tony Gilroy came on board to not only write again this time, but also direct.
Yes.
And he said when Matt Damon and Paul Greengrass were gone, he was like, great, there's no Jason Bourne. I will have a conversation about rejoining this universe and fleshing it out.
Okay, sure.
He's like, what do you do with him at this point? He comes back and he goes, I've got more memories to remember. That's the next one, maybe. I can't remember. We'll get to it. Yeah, this is also the longest Jason Bourne movie. I don't feel it drags. I'm going to say it, Mason. I think this is pretty good. I think this is the second best Jason Bourne movie.
After
the first one.
It's pretty good. But interestingly, we're the only 2 people who have ever seen it.
And my brother, the one you liked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good for him. But this one, a lot of streaming services don't give you the option to watch it. When I finished the last one, the Bourne Ultimatum was like, do you want to watch Jason Bourne? Let's go straight into Jason Bourne. And I'm like, what about... And it's like, nah,
What
man.
about Jeremy Renner?
You don't want none of this, mate.
Well, I do want some of it, Mason. I remember at the time because it came out in 2012 and that was the year of the Avengers and Men in Black 3 and that's all everybody was talking about.
Jeremy Renner. He was in the Avengers.
Yep.
He was in this.
Yep.
He was in Men in Black 3 in spirit.
That's right.
You know?
And the thing about this one is as well, it's different. And thank God. It really felt like a breath of fresh air. I think after watching those 3 back to back and then playing the video game, you can watch that at bigsandwich.co, I was ready to stop running around Europe for just a minute. And this movie doesn't do that. It starts in an Arctic setting. There's wolves. They end up in Manila. It feels, even though it's in the universe, and you definitely get the sense of that because they use footage from the previous movies and some characters return briefly.
Okay.
It definitely feels like it's in the Treadstone-averse.
See, that's interesting how you've said that, James, in your stupid way. Well, I agree with you.
I thought I made a very concise and precise point, Mason.
But in a stupid way?
Yeah, like an idiot.
Thank you.
I wish I had some pills that made me smarter.
I enjoyed this movie, but I didn't feel like it was set in the Treadstone universe. I thought it felt like a similar but quite different espionage universe with a different premise, because the premise of the previous Bourne movies is that Treadstone is creating kind of sleeper agents with new identities. But this isn't a new identity movie. This is about a guy who needs pills for his brain and his muscles, which is different. I also felt like this movie was just two separate tracks of storylines running at roughly the same time that never really interact. Like we go back to, you know, the CIA, Blackbriar, Treadstone, all these guys, and they're talking about, you know, suppressing this.
Where is he?
This news story about Jason Bourne, and they're trying to eliminate this journalist.
Where is he?
Then it cuts to like the snow, and Jeremy Renner's just swinging a flaming torch against some wolves. And I'm like, what? You know,
good.
Yeah, and you know, they eventually do intersect, but
sort of.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, you know,
this was clearly supposed to be the start of something new.
Yeah, and I feel like I think we've talked about in the past how, like, you know, in a world of espionage, you know, if it's a more realistic take on that, it's not necessarily everything's going to sort of dovetail perfectly together. Fair. You know what I mean? But maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
You know, but a lot of this just sort of happens by accident. Like Jeremy Renner as
Aaron Cross.
Thank you, Aaron Cross. You could have said two fairly generic names there at the same. And
Pete Hemsington.
Pete Hemsington? Wow. As part of the Hollywood Hemsingtons?
Correct, yes.
Pete Hemsington, Chad Hemsington.
Jason Hensington.
Thank you. God, they're big celebrities, aren't they?
I agree.
But he's part of this Treadstone universe, except these guys are genetically altered.
Yeah.
With these pills.
Yeah.
To be better secret agents.
So they take two pills, one to enhance their musculature, etc. They can jump out of a tree if they're Oscar Isaac. And the other boosts their brain capacity.
So they can do the cryptic crossword or the Sudoku.
Yeah, they can watch Limitless and go, ooh, that's me.
Yeah, okay, sure. The TV series or the movie?
Both. At the same time, because they could.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So Jeremy Renner comes on board. This is the era where Jeremy Renner will take over your franchise.
We're trying so hard to get him to take over a franchise.
If you let that door open, he'll kick it in.
That's right.
He's suddenly 28 days later. He's suddenly Mission Impossible man.
He's suddenly, you know, the new Facebook in the form of the Jeremy Renner app.
Yes,
you know?
That's right, yeah.
Yet every single one failed. He fell at every hurdle.
Well, the app was killed. That wasn't his fault, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that the truth?
I think it was something to do with, I don't know, off the top of my head, it might have been a Disney thing.
Or was it being used for like money laundering?
Yeah, it was probably money laundering and crypto.
Not by him.
No, it wouldn't have been Jeremy Renner, Mason. I will say this, though. He's great in this.
I agree.
He does some impressive stunt work. There's a moment where you see him scale up a house like a monkey. I'm like, Jeremy Renner, getting about.
I wondered, because it looked quite realistic. Was there any CG involved there, do you think?
I couldn't find any particular footage for that. Maybe he was wired up and they took that out.
There's a car and bike chase towards the end of the movie, and both Jeremy Renner and his nemesis put on sunglasses before they get involved in the chase.
Let's go.
I'm like, does that make it easier to hide stuntmen and face replacement?
Absolutely it does. Yeah, definitely. Good chase though, yeah. So I like about this also that it does flesh out that Treadstone wasn't the only thing going on. They mentioned Blackbriar in previous movies, and that's what this is, this program where you enhance soldiers so they can be super soldiers, etc. They can Captain America, they can Limitless. They can watch all those things at once on different monitors.
That's right.
Yeah.
And who's ultimately responsible? Kenny's here. Shane Jacobson.
Australia's
what are you doing
own
here? Shane Jacobson. Most famous in Australia for playing the toilet services operator Kenny.
That's correct.
A toilet man with a heart of gold.
That's right.
But this time he's got a watch of gold, and he's a sinister pharmaceutical guy.
Why did he take his watch?
To bribe the boat guys.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's fun. That came back. That's what they call a callback in the industry.
That's what they call a callback, yeah.
Well, speaking of watches, this is a ticking clock situation.
Oh, yes.
Because Jeremy Renner, he's giving them all the Renner-round. He's gone a bit rogue, as you would.
Yeah.
He started as a regular soldier, a real dummy, he admits. And so he's on these pills which enhance him. And if he stops taking them, he has withdrawals and he goes back to being a dumb, weak guy. It's a Flowers for Algernon situation, but for super soldiers.
It is.
It is, yeah. So there is that ticking clock going on. But there's also an element of where if you can infect somebody with a very specific virus that is coded to them, specifically, the results become permanent. And so that's what they're chasing in this. And being chased.
Also, why aren't we all on that?
Well,
You know
because
what I mean?
then we'd all be the same again.
Okay,
If you
but
bump everybody up, it's all the same, isn't it?
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
It's like everybody has lead poisoning, so we're all the same now. We're all dummies.
James, we
lead
don't-
poisoning and microplastics.
I was going to say we don't all have lead poisoning. We all have microplastics in the brain. We all have a spoon worth of microplastics in the brain. Look
Mine's
up.
in the shape of a fork.
Oh, that's terrific. Mine's in the shape of a spork. More versatile.
Agreed.
Or a splade, as we call them.
We
in
do
Australia.
call it a splade, and that's what I say. I think also the action in this I enjoy more than the previous two. I think there's a visual clarity to it,
Okay,
which
yeah.
the last two lacked.
Uh-huh.
I think Jeremy Renner is really convincing at pulling that off. I mean, he beats up so many regular people in this.
He beats up so many regular people in a really brutal way. He's breaking the necks of just people who work in a factory.
Yep.
They're like, hey, what are you doing
You
here?
shouldn't maybe be down here, Jeremy Renner.
Well, too bad I'm breaking your neck. Say hi to your mum for me at your funeral and your beautiful family because I've broken your neck. I've cracked your head against a wall. What do you think about that?
They
Oh,
don't
you
like
can't
it.
respond to me because I'm dead.
I don't like it, mate.
Well, they don't have an opinion on it because they're dead.
No.
They died instantly.
Yeah. I think also it's there's not that whip pan kind of camera work.
Yeah, right.
And with the quick cuts. I think it's visually it's a brighter film also. And again, these are not this is intentional. Tony Gilroy did this on purpose so it does look and feel different than the others, even though there is that Treadstone through line which sort of crosses over at some points
guess.
with different drones, etc., or whatever's going on. Looking at people's files and going, I thought this guy was dead, but he's not dead.
He's in this file. You get hit in the head with a file. You're dead.
Yeah, you would, yeah. Yeah, there's a bike chase in Manila, which I really, really enjoy. What's a rooftop chase and then a bike chase. I love all of that. There's a moment where
Would you say it's a thriller in Manila?
I would say that. I would absolutely say that, Mason. And the moment where Rachel Weisz kicks that other bad agent or whatever and he hits that post and flies up, I'm like, that's great. Love all of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and again, I think one of the downfalls of these Bourne movies generally is while the antagonist of these movies, it's always just a generic guy who has no real stakes in this.
Yeah, fair enough.
The antagonist of this, well, it's the remnants of Treadstone and Blackbriar and etc. But they're like, let's employ a special agent to take down new Jason Bourne.
Let's do it.
Let's bring him in. He's a new kind of super soldier, and he's just a guy, and he shows up for a bit.
Yeah, he does show up for a bit.
And then Rachel Weisz
They're
kicks
like,
him off a bike.
he's better than anybody. He's better than anybody we've ever seen. He's got less empathy than anybody we ever have. Oh, Rachel Weisz kicked him off a bike.
Yeah.
But I also like the idea. There's just take it back a bit. There's a moment where the guy who works in Rachel Weisz's special pill office that gives people special pills that gives them special powers. They basically tune his mind through medication and whatever else, I guess, to just shoot everybody in his office as a cover-up situation.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting that this does go, and it is more fantastical, but it goes beyond what they were doing with Jason Bourne, which was basically waterboarding a person until they tell you that they've got a different name than they previously had.
That's right.
Yeah, than what they previously had. So, yeah. But yeah, at the end, they get away. There's the Jason Bourne music, even though he's nowhere to be seen.
It's a re-record of the Jason Bourne movie.
Oh,
it's
it?
a re-record of Extreme Ways. I didn't like it as much.
Oh.
He's re-recorded the audio.
Was Moby okay with this?
I mean, he did it.
So he was okay with it,
I mean,
was
maybe
he?
he was blackmailed. I don't know.
Typical. Of
Maybe.
Hollywood and Moby.
Yeah.
Both of them. Yeah.
It's not the original. I mean, the last one had a remix of the original as well.
Okay, so
but
this
this
is where
one
we're
is
at.
no. This one's way worse.
The next one's going to be Dubstep 2016 Jason Bourne. My goodness. But yeah, at the end, Edward Norton, who appears to be the mastermind behind most of what has happened in these movies, he's just out in the world.
Yep.
Yeah. And we'll talk about how they will probably kind of come back to it, but you do get the sense that, this is going to be a trilogy of sorts. This is going to be the Aaron Cross, Rachel Weisz trilogy, and so on.
Was it though?
No.
Interesting.
Like, I understand why you would want to continue this. I mean, it's a strong IP, and this did well, as we'll talk about. And I think this was a very interesting direction to go in. Hold that thought, though.
I think they should have gone with Aaron Cross prequel. Just a dumb guy getting into scrapes.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
20 minutes of him pushing a door that says pull on it, clearly. What's going on? I need to get in and get my pills. My smart guy pills.
You know what? I would have liked if his smart guy pills completely wore off at some point and we saw that version of this guy. I think that would have been interesting. But forget about all that, Mason, because it's time for the Bourne leg trivia. He's running around.
He absolutely is running.
This is the trivia section of the show where I tell you some information.
Interesting. And then I go, good information.
Yeah. Daniel Craig visited his wife.
Good information.
Daniel Craig visited his wife Rachel Weisz during the shoot in Manila. Producer Frank Marshall was glad to see them together, saying, "It's pretty cool to have James Bond on the Bourne set with Aaron Cross. What a great time. It was really fun." And when I read that, my brain went, who's Aaron Cross?
Right?
The lead person in this movie.
And you've cut off the last bit where it says, Daniel Craig sighed deeply. Yes, I am and was James Bond.
What a pleasure to hang out with
Aaron Cross. Look at us, two legends of the game. James Bond and Aaron Cross.
When Aaron and Marta are flying...
Who's Aaron?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are flying overseas, stock footage of the Oceanic plane from Executive Decision was used. Oceanic Airlines, as you probably know, is a default faux airline used by many studios, including Lost. 2004, which is when this movie is set.
We should trademark it, then they'll have to pay us.
Agreed.
Let's do that later.
Here's some other names that were considered for...
Aaron Cross?
Aaron Cross.
Was one of them Shane Jacobson? Kenny?
No.
Toilet Man?
No.
Oh.
Taylor Kitsch, Shia LaBeouf, Adam Brody, Garrett Hedlund, Luke Evans, Jake Gyllenhaal, Josh Hartnett, Topaz Maguire, Alex Dominic Cooper, Michael Fassbender, Callan Lutz, Benjamin Walker, Errol Narkin, Paul Dano, Joel Edgerton, Oscar Isaac, Logan Marshall Green.
Some of those are good names, and some of those are just random names.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they're all good names.
They're all great
They all
names.
sound like the names of real people. Paul Dano?
Paul Dano.
Interesting. Think he would have gotten ripped and buffed?
No.
And smart?
No.
Interesting. Do you think he would have clambered up that wall?
No, I think he would have remained weak and dumb as he is in real life.
Oh, no.
No, he's wonderful. What a delight. Aaron tells Marta that in order for the army recruiter to make his quota, he added 12 points to Aaron's IQ score. The minimum IQ for serving in the army is 85, which means his IQ was 73, which is considered borderline impaired. So, that's a dangerous man to put into the army, I guess. The average also...
But what IQ? What IQ?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The
meaningless,
average
aren't
IQ
they?
is like 100.
Yeah.
But IQ
It's exactly 100.
It's that's
how averages work.
Average.
Okay, all right.
It's the average around
so
that.
the average is roughly that.
Yeah, around, give or
The exact
take.
average is roughly that.
But yeah, it's bullshit. It measures a very specific type of like intellect and whatever.
It measures how good you are at doing IQ tests. The more IQ tests you do, the better you get at IQ tests.
So your
That
IQ
doesn't
gets
mean-
stronger.
That's right.
Like taking an Aaron Cross pill.
That's exactly right. They should have just put him in front of a bunch of IQ tests.
I agree.
Oh no, he's eating the crayons that he's supposed to be using to finish the IQ test. Oh no. Aaron, no. Aaron, no.
Aaron, no. In terms of box office, on a budget of $125 million, this made $276.1.
Okay.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so it made its money back and a bit then some.
These days, that would be an incredible return. But
agreed.
back then, that was just like, this is an okay return.
It was
for a
the
big-
year of the Avengers and Men in Black 3. Nobody cared, Mason.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
cared. So in 2013, Universal hired Tony Gilroy and Aaron Peckham to write the film's script, with Renner returning as Cross. And then in November of 2013, Fast and Furious film director Justin Lin was announced to direct the film.
Oh.
All of this was, of course, scrapped because Matt Damon eventually decided that he would come back as Aaron Cross.
How do you think that Matt Damon and Jeremy Renner, how do you think they get along?
That's funny that you should say that, Mason, because this next segment is called, What Does Matt Damon Think of This? And Jeremy Renner.
What do they think of this, separately and together?
Correct.
Have we ever gotten in a room together and had them hash it out?
I would like that. Matt Damon told the playlist he could not see his character and the character played by Jeremy Renner being in a movie together.
Whoa.
Insulting. Let him take over your franchise.
Right.
He's been through a lot,
Yeah.
Matt Damon. He also did say, though, he hadn't seen Legacy, but would. This is before his movie.
Also, he said we couldn't possibly imagine these two characters together. What's Jeremy Renner's character like? Don't know. I haven't seen it.
Not important.
Yeah.
But he said he would watch Legacy because he enjoyed Jeremy Renner in everything that he's seen him in.
The
So
app.
the app.
Jeremy Renner. I've only used the Jeremy Renner app
And?
for money laundering.
Yeah. Did it work? No. Oh, no. Anyways, so that's the end of the Aaron Cross Jason Bourne films.
What an era.
Yeah.
Pretty good movie.
I agree.
People should watch it, I think.
I had been avoiding this for the longest time and pleasantly surprised.
You've been Billy Joeling it.
I have been.
For the longest time. Ooh. And so forth.
Etc. Yeah.
That should be the theme song for the Aaron Cross
Completely
Bourne
agree.
movies, I think.
Completely agree.
Whoa! Anyway.
Anyways, of course, this might be the end of this Bourne saga, but there is one more Bourne movie left.
There's another era left. Jason Bourne fights Facebook.
That's right. Can he do it? Yes.
Yeah.
He'll do it. So come back next week if you want to see that. Or if you do want to see it early, just go to bigsandwich.co where all our videos go up there early. If you do want to sign up, there's also bonus video game Let's Plays. We took a look at the Jason Bourne video game,
The Bourne
third-person shooter.
conspiracy.
Yeah, which ties directly into the first movie, sort of a bunch until, except for the stuff they couldn't get, like Matt Damon.
They got the sweater though, didn't they?
They really did. Yeah. We also do movie commentaries. We do bonus podcasts. We also have a podcast. This is on its own YouTube channel and Spotify and Apple, etc. It's called The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. That comes out every Monday, Sunday, early at Big Sandwich. It's a fun thing. We talk about movies, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Isn't
it's
it?
It's good.
Yep. Well,
We've made it for the longest time.
We have.
Whoa.
Since 2013.
Oh. For the longest
For the
time.
longest time, yeah.
It's too late to bring that riff in, I think.
No,
I should have started with Billy Joel, like right at the start of the.
We can
the
put
video.
it in.
Yeah.
We can put it in,
We can
Mason.
put it in.
Me and you.
Nobody can stop us.
Wait, Ben, who edited this, he's stopping us. We
Okay.
can't do it.
We can't. We don't. We can't afford it.
No. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
And grab that Jimmy, guys. We'll see you real soon.
Alex Cross.
Alex Cross was his name.